This is the first video of our course BIM in English for the University of Thomas More. I will explain how we're going to make walls and floors in the first exercise and how to create reference planes. We're going to start with reference planes. So in the architecture tab, architecture, we have a reference plane here. And when you create a reference plane, you can also look at the bottom here. You will move, when the moment you move, you hover your mouse to the right, you will see it will give you a step of 10 centimeters every time you move it to the right. So now it's 410 centimeters, and you can 440, 450, 460. When you zoom out, the steps will increase. 470, 480, no, it's not increasing yet. 400, 500, 600, now it's a step by 1 meter. So we're gonna create one drawing here at 5 meters. So I'll zoom out, 5 meters. And for reference planes, it's very important to make them as big as possible, because they don't have to be perfect in line with your building. They can also be like far away, they can be stretched so you can find them. It's also important to name your reference plane, so we're going to make it right of the building. And I'm going to create another one on top, reference plane. Zoom out 10 meters. Here you go. And when you have reference planes, it's important, so when the outside of your building, outside line of your building, you can start with the architectural walls. So I'm going to take a generic outside wall in architecture, or maybe the outside wall in brick. I'm going to put the finished face exterior. I'm going to make a square. And all right. This is my outline of my building. Now I can make the structural outside walls, which is 21 NLBE SFB code. It's quite important to follow some kind of coding system. It doesn't have to be the NLBE BE SFB system, but actually your drawing needs to have some kind of coding system in naming. So then we're gonna also put it on finished face exterior here, and we're gonna draw the outside walls. Now it's very important to define an offset. The offset is the wall that is structural will be going down and will be put on the structural floor. The finish, which is screed and tiles, in this example it's 15 centimeters. So we're going to put the base offset 15 centimeter lower. And the top offset, which is 15 centimeter of the screed and the finishing of the architecture layer, plus 20 centimeter of floor thickness is 35, minus 35. And we're gonna put the walls accordingly. All right, so this is a structural wall. On a structural wall, the walls are put on a structural floor. So we're gonna create a floor, a structural floor. The 13 is a floor which is on foundations, on the layer of foundations. Then we're going to put the floor on, so the walls, structural walls are on the structural floor. And the height offset from level needs to be minus 15, which is the thickness of the architectural floor. Mistake here. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look what we created. Let's take a section, drag it to the building, and let's have a look. So these walls here are connected to the floor, so they are standing on the floor. There is still like a gap in between, which is like a sandbox, where we're gonna pour sand in between the walls. This is how the construction is made. So to create the sand, which is like the finishing of the architecture. We're gonna take the 43 generic floor 150, and we're gonna create it in between the sandbox, in between the walls. And this floor always has a base offset of 0, because this is the finishing floor, and then it will go down. All right, let's have a look. So now this is the finishing floor. This is a structural floor, structural walls, structural walls. All right, and now the technique to take everything and put it on a second floor is to go to the 3D view. We're gonna first take the floor. We're gonna do copy. Copy. Where are you? Here, copy. Control C. And then we have paste, align to selected levels. And then it will ask you which level do you want. Oops, that's my shortcut of my video. And we want to put it on the first floor, one-on-one. All right. So now this one is copied. And for the structural walls, we can just hover over a wall. And we can push the tab button, tab. It's not working here, so maybe like this. It's not easy. Tab, click, and now we have all the walls selected. You can also do right mouse click, select all instances visible in view. We're gonna do the same technique. Copy, paste, align to selected levels. First level. Let's have a look. Now these walls are not good yet. You can also do the same technique, select all instances visible in view. We can put them to level 102. Architectural walls are more free, and they can have a base offset of -35, so they can connect with the walls, structural elements here on the bottom. Or you can also take the structural floor and extend it to the outside, so the brick walls are supported by the structural floor. So this is in a nutshell how we create walls and floors and reference planes. I would also show you how to create a level. Imagine you want to create another level. These are levels when you look in a section. You select the level, and then you have here on top, here on the right, create similar, or CS. Now in 2026 there is a new option which I cannot see when I zoom in. Maybe here, no. It says create plan view. Toggle this option, so it will create views for you when you create a level. Then with the same idea of moving up, you can create a level. And then the level will reappear here, where you have the question marks. And I will have a look where the question marks are. They're a bit higher, maybe here, no. All right, so the question marks are here. And the levels are here, plotted, where you can change your sub-discipline here. So they will be organized accordingly. All right, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube so we can get some funding for our students. Bye-bye. And also try to follow those next movies coming up. Bye.